On a weekend where Grand Slam track has been my primary attention because I'm down here in Miami, I figure that I probably should respond to the Tate Taylor situation. Because yes, I do care about high school track at a very high level, which is why I rank the athletes. So when I heard that Tate Taylor ran a new national high school record in the 100, the first thought I had was, well, I'm pretty sure he's a 5-star on my list. And yes, that is a fact, but it's a little deeper than that because Tate Taylor didn't just run a new record. He ran 9.92 seconds. He's doing this in a world, because this is wind legal. He did it in a world where we just saw Christian Miller. Christian Miller breaks the national high school record. He runs 9.9 seconds, wind legal, does it multiple times in the season. And after he's done that, the real interesting, part of the conversation to me is that he goes to the Olympic trials, survives and advances, makes it to the finals, and eventually finishes 5th overall. So yes, Christian Miller is a big deal. We just saw that. And then, still, this is all still setting the stage because Tate Taylor is now. But you got to see what's all happening at the same moment, on the track around this. We're dealing with the gout situation because over in Australia, he is 17 years old. He's now listed as a pro. He signed a contract with Adidas. But yes, Gout is perhaps one of the biggest names that we're seeing in sprinting. I mean, we saw him running away from those fields. We saw the crazy 200-meter times. He went 9.99, wind assisted. I mean, it's wind assisted. I mean, you could say slightly wind assisted, but I think it was 2.6 when he did the 9.99 second performance. Then we got Braden Deshaun-Williams, who went off as well and basically replicated that exact same performance and then also put a fast, all-conditioned performance with a plus 6.0 wind. So Braden Deshaun-Williams was in the race with Jordan Tate. He was in that race. And you could argue pretty cleanly now. Braden Deshaun-Williams is the top sprint recruit in his class. I mean, right up there with Maurice Gleaton, who also broke the 10-second barrier, wind legal. But those boys are both in the class of 2025. They're seniors. Tate Taylor is a junior. So maybe he's an even more unique comparison when we look at the ecosystem, look at the landscape of track, and yes, we recognize that gout exists in that framework. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section because I try to read them all. So with all of that and all that being said, here are my, where I'm landing on the Tate Taylor conversation. Because he is a junior. He ran fast. I believe he ran fast indoors if I'm, thinking about the 60 meter. But then he breaks the high school national record indoors in the 200. So that puts him clearly on my radar. If there was any doubt, he had to be a 5-star because if you break, a high school national record, even if you hold it for a week, you are a 5-star recruit on my list. Remember, he's still an underclassman. And I'm even going to say this part, that when I think about recruit rankings and what they are in the context of track, at the end of the day, what we're really trying to do is project out how college coaches see you. And that's why Quincy Wilson is a 99. Because if you're a college coach, you have to admit that there's really no one else better who you're going to go after as a recruit who's going to help put points on the board for your team than Quincy Wilson. It's not just the fact that he's an Olympian. It's just look at his report, his ability to come to your team and help you win. Because that's why coaches recruit. Tate Taylor, when you take out 2 high school national records, now indoors in the 200, outdoors in the 100, and yes, he is now, I just looked it up, he is the, national leader in the 200, I think it's 20.14, could be 20.16. I'm not looking it up right now. I think it's 20.14 though. So yes, he is the best sprint recruit right this second on the clock. And I'm pretty sure that was the Texas State meet because if Braden Deshaun-Williams is in that field, it's starting to feel like this is the state championship. Again, I remember I'm on the road, so I not have access to, kind of look everything up. But as a recruit, I'm pretty sure that you kind of have to move Tate Taylor all the way to the top line. He's no longer just a 5-star. In his class, it's almost a foregone conclusion that he's going to end on now. I think you almost have to give him a 99. Because if you don't, then who else are you expecting to find as a college coach? When you look at the senior class, do you want Tate Taylor? Because he's not a senior. He's class of 2026. Do you want Tate Taylor or anybody else? If I'm a college coach handing out full ride scholarships, I want Tate Taylor. I don't have to ask any questions. I don't need to look anybody else in the eye. I don't have to look at any more races. He's getting an offer from me. So when I say all that, I say this. Tate Taylor is the real deal, at least at the high school level. We just don't know what that means yet, because the high school level is one thing, but doing it beyond that, and yes, I'm even talking about the NCAA, is another. I remember what Justin Gatlin said about Christian Miller before he turned pro. It was still a discussion about whether he should or should not. And the way Justin Gatlin said it, he was like, Christian Miller probably should turn pro because the opportunity is there for him to do it. But if you step beyond just the opportunity, you have to realize that if he goes to the NCAA, he runs the risk of having to now compete with all the athletes at that level. And he's specifically thinking about the international athletes who compete in the NCAA. You got to go through them if you want to win a national championship. And I have to remember that in 2024, in the NCAA championship final, all the athletes who went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least the top 6, they were all international athletes who all represented on Olympic teams for the Paris Games. That's what it was. There were 2 Americans in the field, and those 2 Americans were at the bottom of the leaderboards in the final. I'm not saying that's always going to happen, but what I am saying is that being the fastest kid in high school only makes you the fastest kid in American high schools. However, when you break a high school national record, we no longer have to ask that many questions on whether you can at least compete with the best at the college level and beyond. We know that you have the talent. Christian Miller showed us he had the talent. That's how he went to the trials and got as far as he did. But that is all it is. It's the talent. It's clearly perhaps even the potential. I mean, we can't necessarily project out, but what we do know is what we have to go off of right now. Tate Taylor is legit. Tate Taylor is not only a 5-star recruit, he has a 99 overall rating, and I dare anybody to challenge that. You actually made it all the way to the end of this video. I do have to admit that thank you doesn't do it justice anymore, because you are a real one. And if you want more from me beyond this video, on SCArecruiting.com, you can get a ton of resources, like my free recruiting guide, online courses, and much more, including the option to meet with me one-on-one, where my specialty is helping you figure out which schools might actually be the best fit for you. And if nothing else, and you really just want to see more content like this, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.